Hey guys, welcome back, and today I'll be doing the next part for What If Raditz Killed Gohan. Now last time we left off we saw how the Cell Saga went down, with the likes of Goku unlocking a new form, but instead of it being Super Saiyan 2 here, it was actually the Super Akari. With this done, the time travelers went back to their own timeline and defeated their androids. And now I want to cover the very small changes that would happen during the Boo and Battle of God saga. This is going to be a much shorter part than most of my other videos are. There's a multitude of reasons. One, nothing much changes between these two arcs. And two, there's something I want to ask at the end. So instead of having one massive, long video, I've decided to have a much shorter one. Now, for the most part, things during the 7-year time skip go much like normal. Some small changes are the likes of Gohan keeping up his training, Goku's alive, and Chi-Chi continuing her training, leading to the entire Sun family training together. Goten and Gohan learn the Super Ikari form, and all three Saiyans master the form during this time. Now, Goku during this time also discovers Super Saiyan 2. Now, he does know that it's a stronger form than Super Saiyan. However, it's much weaker than the Super Ikari form, and it will take a long time to combine the two forms. So for now, it's just put on the back burner, and maybe once he's, looking for something to do, he might try to do it. But for now, the Super Ikari form is not too draining and all around just a perfect form. And with that done, let's go forward a bit. The likes of Gohan start school with things there going mostly normal, nothing too interesting changing there, with the likes of Adele still getting taught by Gohan, and talk of the tournament eventually comes around, and the group all start training together. Now, nothing too interesting changes here, so let's jump forward again to the tournament itself, where we see the likes of Goten win the kids division without any challenge. Yamcha and Bulma did have a kid Bulla here, but I don't think she's a fighter. I see her more as a scientist in this timeline. But that doesn't mean she's not strong, so maybe we'll see her do stuff in the future. With Goten winning the kids division with ease, he defeats Mr. Satan, who, like normal, convinces the world he threw it on purpose to be nice. And the real tournament rolls around, with things not changing too much, but there is a few new additions. Chi-Chi is swapping out for Vegeta, and Yamcha is swapping out for Pintar. Yamcha's kept up his training here, so he, felt like joining. Now, the first match being Krillin versus Yamcha, Krillin wins. I believe Krillin is much stronger than Yamcha, even though Yamcha continued training. Following along is Piccolo versus Shin. Piccolo forfeits the match like normal. Next up is Videl versus Spopovich. Videl unfortunately loses, and things there go much like canon. But moving on to the next fight, things here go pretty normal. The only major difference is Gohan uses the Super Ikari form instead of Super Saiyan 2, meaning that Gohan gives off a lot more energy than in canon, meaning when Spopovich and Yamu jump him, they get a lot more energy. The pair fly off and everyone runs out to check on Gohan. Things here go normal, and eventually the likes of Kibito is killed by Deborah, and then Chi-Chi and Krillin are turned to stone by Deborah. The likes of Goku and Gohan are about to rage out and begin to destroy the base of Babidi, but they are stopped when Shin says they just need to kill Deborah to save them. With this calming them down, after all they thought Chi-Chi was dead, they continue down into the base. With Yamcha having come with them, he heads home now, thinking that he won't be able to do much against the likes of Deborah. And once this happens, the likes of Piccolo, Gohan, and Goku play a game of rock, paper, scissors. Gohan wins the first one, so he goes up against Pui Pui. After all, he's raged up a bit, and it's not too hard to defeat Pui Pui anyway. Piccolo versus Yakon is next, with Piccolo not overfeeding the monster. Iseda knocks it off his feet and hammers it into the ground, killing the creature in one blow. This then leaves Deborah versus Goku, and Deborah says how he will be killing Goku here and now to give his master just the small bit of energy he needs. Goku, having heard this, knows he needs to finish this fight fast, and he goes on to say how that won't happen. You hurt my wife, and as some people in the past have learnt, hurting my family or friends is a good way to get on my bad side. Goku jumps up to Super Ikari with his power skyrocketing, letting off a good chunk of energy. Deborah realizes that Goku is incredibly strong and very far out of his league. Goku rushes off towards Deborah, disappearing, and then As Deborah scans the room trying to find Goku, he suddenly feels a massive pain through his chest. He looks down to his chest, seeing Goku had punched a hole straight through him. Deborah then is left there hanging off Goku. Goku throws him to the ground and kills the Demon King, releasing the likes of Chi-Chi and Krillin. And with this done, Goku drops out of Super Ikari. This only gave off a small bit of energy thanks to it happening so fast, meaning that Babidi hasn't hatched the egg. He's about 1 or 2% off right now. And as the group make it to the final floor, he's beginning to give his own energy over to the egg, hoping that it will, release Boo. However, Shin stops this and kills the old wizard. Boo's egg is then very dangerously close to being awakened, but luckily he's just short. The group let out a sigh of relief, and everything goes pretty normal here. Shin's a bit upset that they can't, he's now the last Kai and Kibito's gone. With the likes of Goku saying how if they make a trip to Namek, they can revive Kibito. With Shin wanting to do this, they quickly do a trick to Namek, revive Kibito, and then go back to Earth. With Shin and Kibito thanking the group, they take the egg to get destroyed by the God of Destruction, and that's the first time this group hears of anything of a God of Destruction. And next up is the next time skip from Z to Super. With Goku, Gohan, and Goten keeping up their training, they are joined by the likes of Chi-Chi and Videl. With Videl and Gohan still getting married during this time, Videl is a lot stronger here, and the Sun family as a whole is a lot stronger. Eventually, Bulma's party comes around, much like normal, things happen quite similarly. With Beerus showing up, looking for the Super Saiyan God, he doesn't say this straight away, but with no warning from King Kai, the Kais, or anyone, and no one knowing of Beerus, Goku is very friendly towards him and treats him like he would everyone else. The God finds this quite amusing and plays along for a little bit. Goku invites Beerus and Whis into the party, they get to know one another, and Beerus is quite interested in Goku. After all, he seems to be the last surviving Saiyan, and this is interesting enough. And after eating some food and getting to know the group, Goku asks Beerus what he's here for. The cat goes on to explain how he's looking for the likes of a Super Saiyan God. Goku says how he doesn't know of no Super Saiyan God, but he is a Super Saiyan. What makes you want to find a god? And Beerus responds how he is a god of destruction. With everyone remembering that Shin and Kibito talked about them very briefly, they all realise that this is the god of destruction who destroyed Boo. With Beerus saying yes, it was him, they all are a bit more on edge now. However, Goku is very cozy with Beerus at the moment and asks if he would like a fight with a Super Saiyan. Well, a Super Ikari. Beerus, interested and wanting to know more about this, agrees to have this fight. Goku goes on to show off his Super Ikari form. With Beerus impressed by the form, he asks about it, with Goku giving a vague explanation of what it is, and Beerus being impressed once again by Goku. Though it is no Super Saiyan God, the pair do have a half decent fight. After all, Goku is a lot stronger than his canon counterpart thanks to the fact that the Super Ikari form has a higher multiplier than Super Saiyan 3. Super Saiyan 3 is about 400, and this leads to the Super Ikari, which is a combination of a form which gives a 10 times and a 50 times is 500, which means it's stronger. But the battle does happen for a little bit, and Goku actually manages to land one good hit on Beerus. With this done, Beerus quickly ends the fight, with Goku being knocked to the floor. With Beerus asking if there's any other fighters left who want to fight him, because Beerus here isn't too angry. He got his pudding, he's actually got to know Goku, and likes him because he's like no other Saiyan he's ever met. The likes of Goten and Gohan say they can probably try. They're not as strong as their father, but they can at least have an attempt. Beerus kind of interested in fighting these two. He tells them to step up and fight him together, with him noticing that they are actually a bit weaker than Goku, but to say that there is a child and an adult, they might give him a good chance. With this happening, the pair show off the form, and their power does impress Whis and Beerus to some degree. Nothing like Goku, but it's still quite impressive. The two don't manage to land a hit, but they do give Beerus a good workout. And once this is done, they get defeated and knocked to the floor, with Videl helping up Gohan and Bulla picking up Goten. Beerus is pretty upset here, and he's not like angry, he's more impressed and a bit dissatisfied. He doesn't want to blow up the Earth after all, the food's nice, but he's about ready to head home to his planet. But once he's about to do this, Goku suggests they make a trip to Namek to learn more about this Super Saiyan God form. With Beerus interested, him, Whis, and Goku all head towards Namek, where upon arrival Goku is recognized and is allowed to make the wish, with all the Namekians singing Goku's praise once again. They learn about the ritual and how it works, and they realize they are a few Saiyans short. With Goku using his head, he asks if there's any pure-hearted Saiyan in his other world. With Purunga explaining how there is a handful, he then asks for them to be, brought back to life and sent to Earth. With Purunga unsure if he can make this wish, after all, he's already used two wishes. The likes of Beerus does, nudge him to go along with it. And this leads to two Saiyans appearing on the yacht back at Earth. With everyone staring at them quite confused, Purunga soon scatters, and the likes of Beerus, Goku, and Whis head back to Earth. Beerus asks why the Namekians treated Goku with such respect, and Whis goes on to explain how Goku is the one who defeated Frieza and saved the Namekians from Frieza. Beerus saying how he's happy that Frieza didn't kill this guy, he could be a good fight if this god ritual works out, and also is impressed once more by the Saiyan, who they now talk a bit closer. On Earth, we see the arrival of a strange Saiyan male who's grabbing his chest as if trying to cover a hole, and a woman who's looking very confused and almost searching the room for someone. And the Z Fighters all just stare down these two people, with them unsure of what's happening. When Goku arrives, they ask what is happening, and Goku explains how the dragon said they have to have so many pure-hearted Saiyans to make this wish. There are a few short, so we brought two here. With the female Saiyan seeing Goku, she freezes up before running towards him, screaming out Kakarot. Goku looks confused, but he does know this is his Saiyan name. But how does she know it? With the woman walking right up to him, grabbing his face, with her looking at him for a while before hugging him, saying how she never thought she would see him again. With Goku more confused than ever, he asks who she is. With the Saiyan confused, she explains that she, her name's Gine, and I'm your mother. Goku, even more confused, feels a bit bad and explains everything that had happened, saying how he doesn't remember he's a Saiyan, and he would have never remembered if his brother Raditz didn't show up a few years ago. Gine, at the sound of hearing her older son's, name, asks how he's doing and what happened, but Goku unfortunately has to break the news that he's dead and he's the one who killed him. After Raditz killed his son, he raged out and killed him. Gine, upset about hearing this, sort of understands. She's not too happy about it, but for now can deal with it. With Gine spending a bit of time to get to know her son a bit more, she's introduced to her grandson and her daughter-in-law, with Chi-Chi and Gine actually getting on quite well. With this done, the likes of Beerus finally grabs everyone's attention once again, with him explaining how can they get this ritual done. He's clearly getting a bit agitated. Goku apologizes and explains what both Saiyans need to do, with the Saiyan male introducing himself as Beat, saying how he's a pilot and he's willing to help out if needed. After all, you're the son of Bardock, one of the greatest Saiyans to ever live. I will do anything I can to help. Clearly being a bit of a fanboy of Bardock, and Gine obviously agrees to help. They perform the ritual, but like normal, it doesn't work, with them being a Saiyan down and realizing that they actually need five to put their energy into one. With this done, Beerus is visibly angry, but before he does anything, Videl screams out how she's pregnant. Would that work? Which is amazing to everyone. And they spend a bit of time celebrating before once again doing the ritual. This time Goku does achieve godhood, and the battle between Beerus and Goku goes very similar to Callan, with Beerus going back to his planet thinking how he will visit in a year just to see how things are going. But for now, this is where I'm actually leaving this part. I hope everyone enjoyed, and I'm sorry it's a bit shorter than most of my other things, but there is a few reasons, like I said at the start. One, I didn't want to do three arcs in one thing. After all, I think the next arc is going to be a bit more different. And two, I just honestly just felt like doing a shorter part. Means less editing and less work, which is kind of lazy, but it's the holidays and I've got other things to do, unfortunately. But like I said, I do have a question for everyone. Now, with Guinea back, would people want to see the return of Bardock? This will change the next arc, so it's probably the best reason why I can say I need to ask this question. So, will people want to see Bardock return here? Of course, I'll do a little mini arc about Guinea adapting to Earth life, and if Bardock's brought back, I'll do a little mini arc about it as well at the start of the next part. But let me know, and I hope everyone enjoyed this part. Sorry it's short once again, but I hope everyone had a great Christmas and hope you all had a great New Year's. Have a great day or a good night, and I'll see you next time.